at 7:03. How's that?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Hello. Let's see. We have no guests. We have no appointments. And I'm not aware of any public hearing either. So I guess we'll move on to old business. So action items for October. Some of these are going to be covered in other areas, but if we want to review them. The first one was reviewing the COLA raises for staff. It says ongoing, but I feel like that's done. So that's
Right.
done.
Okay, wait 1 sec, let me just,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not a typist.
Okay.
lately. Okay, so, COLA raises are done.
Mm-hmm. So the next item was determining the LBOT elections need to be restructured. And maybe that's more about whether we need to do like a co-chair, that sort of situation. Amherst has a meeting December 16th. They also have a meeting in January if we wanted to start visiting some of them. I don't know if people are up for trying something in December or if you want to wait till after the holidays to maybe visit some other boards and see how they're running. Any thoughts on that?
I'm game.
Your game? Okay.
After the holidays.
You would like to go after the holiday? Well, I was thinking
Or-
maybe some of the local smaller ones, so it doesn't mean that the same people have to go.
Right.
Maybe Amherst, Milford, Bedford. I've heard Goffstown's board runs really well too, so we can all pick up something and learn from the different ones. So Amherst meeting is the 16th. I'd be happy to email their chair and see, just let her know, see if how she'd feel about us showing up, if that was a good one for them. So
16th of
December.
December,
Hmm.
I was going to say, I think Milford meets
That's
the
a
same night.
Monday.
It's a Monday, yeah.
Is
So-
it during the evening? Because some of them are during the day.
Yeah, no, this was an evening one. So why don't I email her and see what she says, and I will let people know if that would
Okay.
work. I don't know, are they planning on doing a holiday thing? That sort of thing. So I thought I would just touch base with her if people were interested. So, okay. I know that's one where they have a chair and a vice chair, but I'm not sure if the vice chair transitions in or what the vice chair's roles are, but it's worth exploring and seeing what people think. So I will let you know when I hear back.
I get back from California the day before, but I should be okay.
Okay, and I don't know, even if just one or two of us wanted to go, but I want to make it available to everybody to get people's input. So, okay.
And you said there's another meeting the same night?
I think Janet thought
No,
Milford met
Milford
this.
is the same night as ours.
As
Oh,
our-
it's
okay.
ours.
Yeah, I think there's at least 2 or 3 within GMILKs. It's the same as ours.
Mhm. Okay, number 3, review trustee guidelines, finance committee, per my very random comments. So, is that-
Well, we're going to have to table that, and I apologize. I just showed Janet the revision. I typed it, and I left out a part. I
Okay.
wasn't clear on it in my own notes, so,
so we'll move that forward to
yeah.
next month.
yeah,
No problem.
there's just one item we changed, but it needs to be clear,
Okay.
more clearly written.
Great, thank you. The October 21st and 29th meetings for the architects, we had those. I don't want to keep going if you're.
I'm keeping up pretty well, but
Okay.
architects are done. Go
Mhm.
ahead.
Finding out why the travel, meetings, and program expenses did not coincide between the general ledger and the invoice manifest. Is that something that you know about, or should we talk about it now, or is that,
I
no?
don't know anything.
Okay, so we
But
We
but
can
you
ask
did
Yvette.
bring that up as an action item.
Yes.
yes.
Okay, good.
So we can check with Yvette when she gets here, and we'll keep that on as an action item, because it's really important, I think, that we get an understanding of why that happened. 6, present quarterly statistics. Yvette sent those to us,
Yes,
and
they're
so,
here.
yep. Review investment guidelines and offer recommendation for gift policy. That looks like it's on our agenda. So, great. So we'll keep those 2 action items, and maybe we'll get resolution on number 5, the travel, when Yvette shows up. So.
Okay, so quarterly statistics, what was the next one, the last one?
Review investment guidelines
Right.
and the gift policy. So,
Yes.
Gift policies tonight.
great. Okay. So anything else that people want to address under October's action items? No? Okay. The manual review. So at our agenda meeting, it was brought up that this was going to take forever. And so a suggestion was made that an ad hoc committee be formed just to make formatting changes because we can't share the document with 5 people because that would constitute a meeting. So if it's just a matter of spacing, formatting without any content change, if someone would like to work with me or if 2 other people would like to do that and have that done by January for people to review and just see if it makes sense. No changes will be made other than just, same font, lining things up, those sorts of things. What do people think about that? Any thoughts?
I think it's a good idea, but I'm not a formatter.
Okay, that's fine.
I have an Apple, and I can't format well on my Apple, but I can on Word. But I don't have that.
Okay.
So.
So,
I'll do it.
okay. So perhaps you and I, Yvette, can share the documents with us and with the 2 of us.
Sure.
That's okay. Not a problem. That's fine. We were just going through some of the trustee business. We know get here. Yes. All right. So Karen and I, if it's okay, we'll start with we'll share the document. Yvette has it online, and we will do the formatting. And with a goal, we can put that as an action item of getting that done for the January meeting, and we can send it out, and people can review it, and just make sure that it looks good to you guys. So, thank you, Karen.
Sure. Okay, by January.
I think yes, right, because we don't want it just hanging out there all the time. In fact, there was I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Also, I would suggest that as we go along and there's a document we want to add to the manual,
Which we've done.
okay, that somebody's got to keep track of that index.
Mm-hmm.
I assume, because if you don't, everybody's going to have
Sure.
a different looking manual.
Yep.
When I leave the board, I plan to turn my manual in for the next person.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's would need to be consistent.
Yep.
So I would assume the secretary would keep an updated index of the documents we've agreed to keep in there as a reference for the
Which
trustees.
I haven't up till now, so.
So that would be something that maybe we could make sure that's there, and everybody could take a look at that in January to make sure this is the
Yes.
index of
Yeah, that we
documents
all
people
have the
agreed
same-
to, and
have
everything is the
Same
same.
documents, and then
Yep.
as we go forward, keep it updated,
Mm-hmm.
so there's consistency, yeah.
Great. Okay, wonderful. Anything else under old business that we're missing? Thank you, Yvette. Okay, new business. Yvette, do you have any policies for us, or should we move on to the? Okay, so we'll move on to the trustee gift policy. So-
Thank you.
So trustee gift policy, thank you
You have
to
two names.
I know all of.
Sorry, what?
the trustee gift policy.
Oh, you can do that now?
Yeah, we're on.
Oh,
Yep.
sure. I brought copies because I realized it was sort of a late entry into things, and we apologize for that. So I'll pass that around, so everybody's looking at the same thing.
Thank you.
Again, there's formatting issues. So, this is a trustee gift policy, because the trustees typically have been paying for gift items for the library staff, so this applies strictly to the library staff. The purpose of the policy is to ensure equitable disbursement of funds to staff members for common events. And then under the first note, we identified what those common events were that we were referencing. And we also noted that bonus money is not considered gift money. The policy applies to full and part-time employees. The policy applies to staff only and does not include family members or parties designed to include the public. The policy does not preclude staff from contributing to any event or gifting a staff member privately. All gifts described in the policy are the trustee's contribution to these common staff events and are paid for from the trustee's special account. And the procedures are that funds for gifts are pre-approved prior to purchase by a vote of the LBOT. It is the responsibility of the LBOT secretary to purchase gifts and cards. Gift purchases may be delegated at the discretion of the LBOT secretary or trustees to library management staff. The type of gift provided is at the discretion of the LBOT. The LBOT may delegate determination of the type of gift to the library director. Gifts are not to exceed the dollar amount allowed for the gift category. The dollar amount allocated for stiff gifts are as follows. Holiday season, our typical has been a $25 gift card and a card. Retirement from the library, up to $50 gift card. I should have said gift card, I'm sorry. And card. Severe illness or disability, up to $30 and card. And employment anniversary dates. With a gift card of 5 years at $25, 10 years at $50, 15 at $75, and 20 or more, $100. Staff events are not designated for a gift may be acknowledged with a card. Expenses for parties are limited to $100 with the exception of the National Library Week celebration. Up to $300 may be spent for staff collectively during this week. Additional costs for any gift or specific event can be increased with pre-approval from the LBOT. The rationale for this policy is that it describes the amount of money trustees have designated to contribute to staff events, ensures the amount spent on gifts remains consistent, and allows for appropriate budgeting of the trustee special account.
My question is, what about something like the trustee breakfast for the holidays for the staff, when we would designate or okay, like multiple hundreds of dollars, more than three, like $4 or $5.50 or something like that, to go for the cards and to go towards food items as well for that breakfast.
They're separate. The gift is separate from the cost of the party.
Okay, so what about the cost of the party?
Well, we've designated $100 per party, so we would spend $100.
Unless pre-approved prior to the party.
That's the thing. Yes, we would pre-approve it prior to the party.
And the
because-
amount can be changed if there's a need to do that. It was
Okay.
just a way to say,
Yep.
we're allowing this much as a baseline, and it can be adjusted according to.
The main thing is that you built in the flexibility so that, I mean, as the secretary, I'm perfectly happy to take on those responsibilities, especially since it was specifically put in that I would work with the director and can even designate
Yes.
the director, you know, or if
Yeah.
she would like to, or whatever.
It just gives the whole
So the
process
flexi-
some,
The flexibility
flexibility.
makes it so that which is the whole point, you know, none of this is written in stone.
well, once it's a policy, it is.
But I love,
Also, we
No.
can change it.
but I like that you have the amounts, and we know that it's
Yes.
done October 31st, 2019. So if we come to the point where you think, oh, maybe we need to make it more, maybe we need
Right.
to change something, at least you have a working document that's been,
Yes.
hopefully accepted,
Right,
and
and
we
that
can
was the
move from
point.
there. Yeah.
Is that over time, we've noticed there's been inconsistency in that. So is that fair? Is that right? We can't budget for that
Mhm.
now that the trustee monies have shifted as to what the income sources are. So it becomes more prudent to make sure that everybody understands what we spend for what. And this is one way to do that.
As in this month, we would have to decide to select a different amount for the holiday breakfast
That's on the
slash
agenda.
gifts.
We haven't even brought that
Oh,
up.
okay,
It's on the agenda.
okay, I'm sorry. Jumping
What,
ahead.
one question I have is I know that there was some questions about what to do if there wanted a contribution to, if someone were to pass away and the trustees felt it was appropriate to acknowledge that. And I didn't know if that was something that was going to be addressed in here or if that comes in another way. So like buying flowers, or we had talked about it's not appropriate to contribute to a fund. So is that a separate policy or is
This
that?
policy applies to staff.
Okay,
If we're going to do another one that relates to the public in general,
okay,
you might have a volunteer who
exactly, thank
suffers
you. Yep,
something. And, we're going to do that as a separate item because it's two different realms.
okay, great.
We did limit this, however, to just the staff.
Mhm.
We did not include their family members because you know, some people have no family, some people have a large family, where do you draw the line? So it really was a way to say, this is for our staff, and does not, that's why we said does not include family members or parties that include the public, because this is really just staff events.
Okay, thank you.
And the events we identified that we would acknowledge are the common events listed under note. We felt it was appropriate to limit them because there's many, many events that can occur. And that's just what, this is subject to, you know, input and change, but this we thought was a good place to start.
Great. Any comments or concerns?
No, I agree that it's nice to have a baseline and keep it all the same.
Okay.
And it's all clearly designated, and we don't have to scramble through our minutes to find out what it was the last time.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can move to vote on it? And nobody has anything to say?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Shall-
I move we accept the trustee gift policy for staff as written.
I'll second that motion. All in favor? 5-0. Thank you so much for your work. It's very clear, nicely done. It's formatted great. I don't know what you're talking about. This one looks great.
Trust me, it takes me a lot of painstaking time. to
I
get my
appreciate the bigger
formatting right on
font,
Apple.
so, yeah, thank you. It's good. All right, quarterly statistics that were mentioned that Yvette sent to us.
So I did bring the copies on large paper, just because it's a long list, so it's just, 2 pages on one. Yeah, I kind of cut over your customers.
Was this yours? The one with the brackets on it?
No, brackets,
Oh,
I don't have brackets.
I have brackets.
Oh, I did.
Ooh, and she has red numbers.
I have two.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, well, we all have the important numbers, right? So we'll go forward.
This
Yeah,
is
they're the
probably a-
same.
Is there anything of particular note, Yvette? that you-
Not on our end, no.
I was wondering about library meetings. Does that mean meetings that the public held at the library?
No.
No,
So let me,
under programming.
okay. So library meetings are meetings that have to do with library staff
Oh,
or
okay.
trustees, boards, friends, development fund. Other meetings are the outside groups reserving the room.
Okay.
I,
What does outreach
wow.
mean?
That means we went out of the building to do an outreach event off-site.
Okay.
I really liked seeing our use of GMilks. It just really underscores how valuable a service that cooperative is to us, both our patrons going to GMilks, the amount of materials we get on the van. That's great to see.
Okay, good, it's clearer then.
Mm-hmm.
Then like, what the board used to receive was well different.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So under telecommunications, under website, that's saying that that number of people access the library website?
Number of hits.
Hmm?
Number of
Number
hits,
of hits.
which is, it's a challenging number because I access the website all day. If I'm updating an event or checking something, you know, the staff is touching it also, so there's
So can you
no,
delete those out? You
no,
can?
we're not, no.
Hmm.
No, but, you know, it's fine.
Well, I guess then it also shows the combined use of the library. You know, like the staff's using it, the public's using it, if you can't get it out, at least you have a picture of how much it's being used in general, if I'm understanding it correctly.
With the deleted customers on for September, does that include the number of people that Jen Green talked about that we,
She didn't discuss this specifically with me, but it's most likely, I don't remember what that, I don't have that paper here, so I don't remember if it was 42 that she was proposing, because she had so many different tiers. It's probably very likely, because it is a higher number than the usual here.
Okay, any other questions for Yvette on the statistics?
actually, I guess I do have one.
Okay.
So you have other meetings.
Mhm.
Do you keep track of the meetings that you can't have?
Yes.
Great. Thank you, Yvette.
Is there a way to reflect that on the statistics?
Sure, we just have to add a line. I mean, we can add any lines you want.
Well, given that we're in the process of discussing the building of the library, whether we're going to renovate, et cetera, it might be useful information to be aware of.
Okay. So this would be number of meetings we can't schedule because the room is already booked.
Booked, or we can't accommodate it because of our size, or because of our size is the only reason I can think of.
Well, there's other reasons why we would not have a group, because we have a meeting room policy, so the requirements for someone to be able to reserve the room are listed in the policy.
Yeah, that wouldn't apply then, just, yeah, because we can't accommodate them
Okay.
for whatever, for space or booked or whatever.
Okay.
Great. Okay, the staff holiday breakfast and gift. This is all new to me. Is there someone who would like to speak to this, or it is D? So are we looking for a date, what our role and involvement is? Yvette?
Sure, I'll answer. Thank you, Deborah.
Yvette?
So traditionally, the trustees have celebrated the staff as a thank you. And in recent years, it's been breakfast that the trustees cook. Are you up for it?
I can't take Friday off on, sorry, no, I really can't take a Friday off. It's not, I'm not even joking.
To cook. Okay. So you
I
guys,
can cook the night before. I will cook muffins or something.
so the trustees come to the library. It's usually like 8, like 8 o'clock, 8:30,
9,
something like that.
9:30,
Yeah. Before we open, some morning that everyone agrees upon. And you cook whatever you want for breakfast. The staff comes early, the
We set it up.
trustees stay, and it's really popular. I mean, of course it's popular, but it's a wonderful expression of thanks and support and appreciation that everyone really, really likes.
And we
And
sometimes play fun games.
Yeah.
Joanne usually
Joanne.
puts together.
always
Good at the
games,
games.
yeah. So that's that. And then for the gift, usually the trustees, or in the past, the trustees have asked me to kind of find out what kind of gift cards each staff person would like to get from which restaurant, or, I mean, I think sometimes we've narrowed it down
Like
to,
to
you
ma-
can choose out of these.
Yep.
Right.
Because I know there's been times in other years, we've all been kind of going to the far reaches of
Yes.
Merrimack and Nashua, which is very generous, so. And you guys decide on an amount, and someone gets gift cards. I'm not sure who gets the gift cards of the board, but you all sign and
Yeah.
put them together, and
Well, that would be Karen.
No, no.
But not always.
I'll
I
help
got some
Karen.
last year, too.
And
Yeah.
So Karen, you
Oh,
said
yeah.
you were going to be in California.
Yes, but I, mm,
well, she could delegate someone if she's not
Well,
able
just
to.
saying, picking a date that
All right.
would work.
I am
for her.
going to be there for 10 days from the 7th of December to the 16th of December.
Which is a Monday.
well, you guys can.
We can discuss the date.
discuss the date.
Yep.
later, if that's gonna be
Uh-huh.
easier to look
Oh,
at calendars.
This is November.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
So
we
we
have
really
to-
should set a date.
Sure, but if you don't want to take up meeting time, you can vote to expend money and then work out the details.
outside the meeting,
Yep,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
like a
I
good
mean,
idea.
that's,
Yeah,
It was
it's all right.
the 11th last year.
it was the 11th last year.
Sure, but you guys will have to figure out, do you want to do it? That's the first question. Do you want to do something? Do you want to have it as a morning breakfast? Does that work with enough people to be able to run it? I'm perfectly happy to help and cook whatever you want me to do, or set up the room or anything. But when I was the children's librarian, it was dinner out, so, it kind of depends on what does this board want to do.
I think the breakfast has been successful. It's a way for all the staff members to attend. I mean, most of them do come because it's before work. And I think the problem, I talked to a couple of staff about, would you prefer a dinner? And most of them said, well, I didn't like the place they went, or they had, my spouse, that's too complicated. So the breakfast
is.
kept it simple.
I agree.
And it allowed staff a time of day when it was easiest for them to get there and didn't cut into their after-work time.
Okay, I mean, it depends on your schedules.
Deborah,
That's the thing.
being in education myself, I have often not been able to go. I
Yeah.
just bring food. I just
I'm like,
can't do
with
it.
a panic thinking, how can I
No.
do this? How can I do this? So, okay, but well, we can discuss dates and
Alright.
we'll all do the best that we can.
That's fine.
and see.
Well, then
So-
option might be a Saturday morning.
I think more
don't-
staff would be likely to come on a Friday. I feel like a Saturday during December, people
We've
are.
never done a Friday, have we? I think we've done it like Tuesday or
think-
Oh,
Wednesday.
I thought you were saying a Friday. I don't know why I had this in my head. That it
No, I
was a
said
Fri-
that the trustees cook.
Oh. Okay.
But we usually look at the schedule of the meeting room, because we hold it in the clump room, and make sure we're not having story time, because then it's very hard to turn the room and
So maybe
enjoy
we should
breakfast.
look at that schedule
Yeah,
before we
we-
do. So we
yeah.
will.
Well,
Okay.
we can sit down and look at the schedule, but if you want to vote to expend the funds, then at least that part is taken care of, and I can offer my services to Karen, and we can be running around.
Do you know what
fine.
the amount was
That's
last
fine.
year? for
Well,
the-
let's do
Let's see.
what
We'll
we've
figure
done
it
in
out.
the
I was
past.
thinking 600 for the gift cards, but I was just going to ask Yvette, how many staff members?
I don't know. Wait,
Okay.
we,
So
you've seen my director's report,
Yes.
so I would
Yeah.
need to kind of
Yeah.
think about it. And
Didn't we do
get
like
your
a
number.
certain amount, but
We did
if we didn't
$25.
use it-
Probably up to-
No, I meant like the,
for the party?
yeah.
Well,
Or did that include the staff gift cards
No.
and the
it was two different things.
two different things?
We did, like, for however many staff, we did $25 gift card.
Right.
And then to be determined where it was based off of where they wanted to go. And then we allocated
Some money
some money, exactly, I think. it
for
was
the
like-
menu.
Right.
And a lot of things we have already, like maybe tablecloths and
Well,
So
decorations.
we didn't need $600 for the party. We must have included the gift cards in it.
No,
Well-
600 was, or I think 600 was for the gift card.
I think,
that
I think
included
if
the
you say up to 600,
Yep.
you'll probably be okay. But we can talk after about
Yeah.
what's an actual number on the date
Exactly.
that you
And
pick.
I'm willing to do the Sign Up Genius,
Oh, that would be great.
which is what.
That
we
was
did,
good.
Yes.
Last time, that was really good.
so.
Oh, do we or don't we need to
Please.
make a
Well,
motion
first we have to
to
decide
expend?
If we're gonna do it, and
money.
then we have to decide when.
Okay, I make a motion that we do the holiday breakfast for the staff sometime in December that works with the clump room.
I second.
motion.
allocation of funds.
Okay.
Can't wait till the December meeting. Wow. Okay. All in favor? Did you second it, Laura? I'm sorry.
No,
Karen did.
did.
Okay. All in favor?
I move we allocate $600 toward,
Are you in favor?
oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Okay, passes 5-0.
Move we allocate $600 towards the holiday gift cards and party, sponsored by the trustees. Nobody's gonna second that?
Well,
Oh,
second.
Janet's doing some
No, I
fast
don't-
math for
I
us
don't think
over
that's
there.
enough.
So.
You already said it was enough.
No, that was for the gift cards.
Oh, I apologize. I thought you meant for the whole thing.
No, 600 is for the gift cards.
Okay, 700 then.
What do you say, 25
25
gift cards?
or $25.
Yes, but how many gift cards?
However many number staff there are.
On the date.
Okay.
So should we say,
That's why it's up to $600.
All right.
do we
I-
need to say 700 to include the $100 for the party?
Well, I don't think it's gonna be that much.
I don't
mean,
either.
Well, we're
but-
saying up
Up
to, so.
Yeah,
So say 7, yes.
okay.
To 700, okay. I move we allocate up to $700 for the staff holiday party to pay for the gift cards and the party.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
And date to be determined.
Yes.
Yes, perhaps Yvette can give us a list of dates that work better with the clump room, and then we
I can
can
do that.
pick the one
Mhm.
that's,
Who seconded?
I did. Jan.
Laura, okay, Janet.
all right. Moving right along to the operating budget. We received the general ledger, and here comes the invoice manifest.
Yes.
Yep, sorry, that's late.
More than, I'm sorry, I grabbed more than one. No?
Thank you.
There's nothing, do you
I
want
looked at it, I don't have any issues.
to? Okay. Do you have any concerns, Yvette, that you want to bring to our attention? Okay. Thank you. Does anybody have any concerns or questions about the ledger or the invoice manifest? No?
Is that the one that we were asking the question about?
Yeah, there was an action item from
But I
last
don't know if
month
that
about,
applies
did
to
did
that,
you,
the
do you
travel
have any?
meeting
Nope.
and-
Okay.
What was it about? The action item? I forgot.
There were some things that didn't coincide with
Oh,
the
yeah, right.
invoice
Yeah, we
manifest.
addressed that at the beginning where we
Oh.
said that,
We didn't.
that we don't know why they didn't coincide.
I don't know. I
Okay.
mean, I will have to go back and look. I haven't had time to do that. But when it gets to be, after the end of the month, then I just run it. And I set no parameters. The only parameters I set is October 1, October 31. And it populates and off we go. The invoices are populated, the finance office here at Town Hall, pulls the lines that you wanted, Janet, and I don't touch this either. So, Joanne might zhuzh it a little bit. So, you're welcome. So I don't work on these documents, so I don't know why it might not be coordinating, but it seems strange that it's not coordinating because I don't manipulate it. And, they're pulling the lines that you asked for, so that's a really deep question that I have to go looking.
I just have a question about, there was a replacement and installation of a security camera.
Yes.
Those aren't that old. are they?
No, one of the cameras outside, it's like they wasn't focusing properly and moving properly or something, so it's, it's wear and tear.
Mhm.
Oh, there it is.
Anything else?
Who's Evan Barta?
Evan Barta is our webmaster.
Oh, that's what that means, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Budget. FY 2020-21 budget draft, I'm assuming has been submitted, and we have I'm assuming has been, so no. And I really do want to acknowledge, I know everybody went out of their way to go to those meetings, which were really helpful, and we greatly appreciate Paul McCallie taking his time to talk with us. I'm sure I can speak for the rest of the board when I say we really appreciate Janet. Janet, you did so much. So yes, bravo. Like really, you were on top of it. You had all the documents. You ran a number of different versions for us. So really, thank you very, very much for doing that. It was hugely helpful, and I think we all feel like we have, we're moving in the right direction. And thank you to Yvette for the timeline, so we know what's coming up. So did everybody get their
Yeah.
timeline
Yep.
of the budget process?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Was it in this?
Yeah,
It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Highlighted in
It's all there.
yellow, some more highlighted in
Stuff.
yellow.
Yep.
No, but I mean, was it online is what I meant.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
the budget
Then
schedule.
I'm not worried
right.
about it.
So,
I'm being good. Looking,
so
I
it
don't
looks
have
like
to have 5,000
the
copies.
next thing really on our agenda for this is January 8th at 6 o'clock. There's a budget meeting that we will need to be at. So
Mhm.
that's it. But
Yep,
again,
yep.
thank you to everyone for coming in at such short notice, and thank you to Janet and Paul. We really appreciate it. And Team Yvette for coming in too. Okay. Any other comments about the 2020-21 budget? No? Great. Director's report.
Okay, so there are a couple of donations from the Friends that you can vote to accept. The Friends of the Library donated $45.99 to purchase a replacement toaster for the staff kitchen. The Friends also donated $72.36 to pay for the purchase of September book sale volunteer refreshments.
I make a motion to accept the two Friends of the Library donations, one for the replacement toaster and the other to pay for the book sale volunteer refreshments.
I second.
All in favor? Passes 5-0. Thank you. Thank you to the Friends for that.
Thank you. And we received a check for $50 from Beverly Cronin for the Barry Quimby Memorial Fund.
I make a motion to accept the donation from Beverly Cronin to the Barry Quimby Memorial Fund.
Second?
All in favor? Passes 5-0. Thank you for her generous donation. And thank you for the work that you did setting up that memorial fund and getting everything straightened out. I know that. Thank you, Janet, for doing the legwork on that. Okay, thank you for working on it. Okay, perfect. I'll retract my thank you and come back later. Okay.
There's a couple of other things, under personnel. I received a resignation letter from Jennifer Green, who is the head of circulation. Her last day will be December 13th. She was offered a position as assistant director for the Pelham Public Library in Pelham, New Hampshire. And you can vote to accept that resignation. I can pass her letter if you want.
I make a motion that we accept Jen Green's resignation with regret, and congratulations to her on her new position.
I'll second.
All in favor?
What's her last day again?
13th.
December 13th.
December.
13th, okay.
And I'll send these to you, Deb,
Okay.
to sign. I also received a letter of resignation from Brendan Chella, who is the head of adult services. So you can accept his resignation as well.
I motion that we accept Brendan Chella's resignation as head of adult services.
Second?
All in favor? Passes 5-0. Okay.
Other things, I have the maintenance list, which I know we usually look at during the director's report, so I can pass that as well.
I'm sorry.
We need to talk about that in non-public.
Yes,
Okay.
I just, I had just seen the other ones, so I didn't recognize that this was different.
Okay,
So that's why I called it back.
so I'm gonna send around the building and maintenance project list. The maintenance report is here. I'm not sure if you had any questions about those. If you have any questions about the maintenance report or the list.
List.
Jared is also back to full duty.
Oh, yes.
Did you send around a building maintenance list?
It's coming, or it should be, it's here.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was there.
Glad to know that Jared is
Yeah.
not only back to work, but recovering.
Yep.
Yep.
The turnstone project on the children's room windows is finished.
You said it's finished?
Yes.
So it is entirely finished, painted and everything.
Yes.
Any questions or concerns about the list of maintenance projects? Thank you to the staff for all that they did getting the room ready for that. And I know it must have been an inconvenience, but we really appreciate it.
Okay.
So.
So under administration, I wanted to draw your attention to the United States Census for 2020. In April, the census will be conducted, and libraries, the American Library Association and the New Hampshire State Library are encouraging libraries to get involved in any way we can. And mostly to spread the word, notify people that this event is happening, and that it's important for the census to take place so that there's an accurate count of people where they are, so the appropriate amount of funds can go to that community. So on Wednesday afternoons, we have someone from the United States Census Bureau who's working in our region, who mans a table or staffs a table in the lobby and is available for any questions. He can also answer questions about recruitment for people who are census workers. So that's something that is available if anyone has any questions. Jen sent me a circulation report separately. Over 3,000 items have been inventoried. Entire department has, the staff have been trained in the process of taking inventory of the items. And they're going to continue to work on that through the winter. Jen created a location for the Library of Things. And there are acrylic stands with images of the Library of Things as we add to it. She's doing fun book displays. If you probably have seen the one that was Orange, You Glad It's Fall with orange book covers. There's one with yellow book covers out now. So they're doing punny displays.
Honey?
Punny.
Like puns, punny, funny, punny.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't have read the report because it was really. Youth services, we've posted the full-time library assistant youth services position. We've started to receive some applications for that. For tech services, Sheila and Jennifer, as well as Arifa and myself, attended the NHLA Fall Business Meeting and Conference at the Hooksett Public Library on November 1st. The topic was sustainability in libraries. It was excellent. I was also elected vice president to the NHLA board for next year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's a 3-year commitment. Which is really funny. That's a 3-year commitment. So it's vice president, president, past president. But I thought it would be helpful for Merrimack, for me, to have a
Absolutely.
broader understanding of
Mm-hmm.
what happens in the state, rather than just, okay, Merrimack, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's stuff I really don't know. Of course, there's stuff I don't know, but a lot of the GMILK's directors have had this position, and they're so well-spoken and so well-informed about larger issues that it seemed like probably I
Great.
should step up.
Well, thank you for being willing to do that.
You're welcome. I've listed my consortium meetings that I'm going to be attending. One of them for Friday may or may not happen. I think I included in your packets the information about Macmillan.
Mm-hmm.
So that,
Yeah, I couldn't open that.
I couldn't open it.
oh,
Oh,
I'm
I
sorry.
like
you,
in
you
OneNote
can
or
if you
something?
don't do it on your phone. You can do it
No,
like
I
in.
did it on my
Really?
desktop.
Oh,
Do you have Apple?
I do.
yeah, no, I have a Chromebook and it just popped right up. So
That's why.
Yeah, publisher.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, so
Just automatically
I can
convert
pass
it
this
to-
around. This is an ongoing situation. I'll pass this around. I apologize for that format. I was working with Jen Green to create a handout that we can start to have available for our patrons, so that they can just be aware of a situation that's happening. It's beyond our control. That is what the GMOX libraries have decided to do. Many of the libraries in the state of New Hampshire have been talking about this for a little while, a couple of weeks. And this is in response to a letter that Macmillan Publishers and their CEO, John Sargent, put out saying that there's a pricing embargo on the ebooks that we purchase, that libraries purchase. So as of November 1st, which it's already in place, library systems will be allowed to purchase one perpetual access ebook during the first 8 weeks of publication for each new Macmillan release at half price, which is $30 for libraries. Additional copies will then be available at full price, $60, after 8 weeks has passed. And then the ebook licenses will continue to be metered for 2 years or 52 lens, whichever comes first, on one copy, one user model. Our library purchases ebooks with the New Hampshire State Library Overdrive Consortium, consisting of over 200 individual libraries. But according to Macmillan, these 200 libraries are considered one library system. So that means there will be one copy available to lend in the state. Yes. That was our reaction too. I don't know. I mean, you can, guess what motivation might be. If I can't get the book from my library, am I going to buy it automatically? I'm probably not that kind of patron because I'm a librarian. I'm going to wait. But anyway, a few popular Macmillan authors include Kristen Hanna, Louise Penny, Steve Barry, Lisa Scottaline, Bill O'Reilly, Nora Roberts, and C.J. Fox. We're including a link to a full list of the authors. So it was in Publisher because Jen, usually when we do a handout, like the Turkey Shoot handouts, they're a quarter sheet, double-sided, so that's why it was in Publisher, and I just grabbed it and opened another tab and said, this is big, because I wanted you guys to be able to see it. So I'll pass this around. So the back of it says, what is the Merrimack Public Library doing? The Merrimack Public Library participates in the two consortiums, and as of this posting, New Hampshire Library Leadership, which is really, the state librarian, but all of the directors, and we're all encouraged when I go to my meetings and GMILKs, and when we talked about this at the NHLA conference, everyone was said, just start to tell your board, just tell your trustees so that they know what's going on. And so, here's our meeting and I'm telling you. But really the feeling is the librarian leadership is reluctant to boycott because to do so would be in opposition to our mission of providing patrons access to ebooks. We feel that this unfair pricing model goes against everything libraries stand for, namely equitable access to information. Several other states and their attorney general's offices, library consortiums and city libraries are exploring legal action against Macmillan publishers. I understand that the Rhode Island Library Association is suing them. And then there is a link to a petition, an online petition that the ALA created that we're including this link. You're also welcome to share your concerns with me or the board, and then we apologize and thank you for your support. So it's a work in progress. This is a draft. We have not posted it anywhere or handed it out yet. I said, let me bring it to the board and see if they have any things to add or any advice or ideas. But it's a constantly changing situation. So I don't know if there have been any changes yet. It hasn't come down through the listserv, any changes. And if, I might have an ULAC meeting on Friday, and Todd Fabian, who's the director of the Concord Public Library, is the chair right now. And he said he would only call the meeting if there were more news about this, so we can kind of discuss it. So I don't know. I don't have an agenda yet, and he hasn't not called the meeting, but he hasn't called the meeting.
You say that some of the libraries are looking to bring suit against Macmillan. Is this a class action suit, I assume?
I don't know what kind of suit it is.
It's out-of-state libraries at this point. It's not,
Yeah, and this is the same text that the Manchester City Library is using. Goffstown has already posted their information. I have the letter that Concord is also putting out. So
it'll go on the website.
it will go on it. The only difference that Concord so far is doing, and I don't know if the other libraries that have this option is, we have another resource for ebooks, which is Advantage. It's a certain kind of title, that's the Advantage titles, and we have an account with it, Merrimack, but not all the libraries do in JMILCs, or in the state. And right now, our Advantage titles are open for anyone in the state, another library to borrow. But with this, there's one copy available in the state, but any Advantage library could buy a second copy. And then the question is, right now, our Advantage titles are open to the states. That means it would be a second copy for someone else, not necessarily for Merrimack. We could restrict our Advantage titles, which we have been doing just until this year. And it was something more about, there was a problem with the catalog, and it was easier for the state catalog if it was just open. And it was like, fine, we're not buying a lot of Advantage titles. But now it's, okay, are we going to buy an additional Advantage title that's going to go not to Merrimack? Or are we not going to buy an Advantage? So Concord said they are not buying another Advantage title. They're not going to buy a second one. They're just, that's the way they're going to boycott. But the GMILCs consortium directors said, no, we don't even want to do that kind of boycott. So anyway, that's what we have.
So if I'm a patron and I want to,
You'll wait for a really long time. You can put it on hold, but you're gonna,
right, but would I be
Yeah.
aware that this is part of the reason why?
no one is aware yet. That's
But okay.
part of it, and that's why we're trying to develop our own statement, based on what some of the other libraries have already put out there, and start to inform people. Because if, part of what we want to do is make sure people have access, number one, and it's supposed to be convenient. You want to get this right away. We just did the budget. We spend a lot of money on electronic materials so that people can have access, and a lot of people can have access, multiple access, like in terms of Hoopla. So, the concern that we have is that patrons are going to be angry with us. We have no control over this, and we have to inform them saying, well, this is the publisher. Now, the other concern we have in terms of on the director level that we've talked about is, whatever happens with Macmillan,
Mhm.
the other publishers are gonna say, oh, well, it worked for them, I'm gonna restrict too. Or the librarians are standing up and saying, no, this is not right, and no one else will try. I mean, we don't know. So that's why ALA, started and created this,
Mhm.
petition. And first it was very kind of an internal thing, and now it's like, no, you really have to, we're gonna push it out to the patrons and.
Mhm.
and
And
stuff
people
like
really need to be aware of the changing tide of what's
Yeah.
happening out there. It's
Sounds like a good letter to the editor.
Oh, well, the current president of the NHLA wrote one. Christine Fries, she's the assistant director of Portsmouth, and she wrote a beautiful letter, which I believe I shared to our Facebook page, but I can, we can be more, once this notice is okay to go out, I mean, it's not a policy necessarily, but it's certainly something that you guys should say, yes, we understand it, we're behind it, as the board, because people can come to you with questions
Mhm.
too. I mean, but I think once this kind of statement is approved, then I can be a little more active about,
Mhm.
or proactive maybe about informing the public, and right now it's just been a little non-committal on my part.
Well, I would think we'd want to inform the public.
Yeah, we do,
That's-
but
Yeah.
it's
that's-
also, a lot of conversations that have to happen with the directors, with the state
Mhm.
librarian, our ALA advocates at the state library, who work with the ALA, and kind of what's the message? Let's have a unified message, and so
Mhm.
what is that message? What's everyone gonna do?
Okay.
So would we be keeping abreast of the situation and trying to then join as one voice
Yeah.
with with the state? Sort of waiting for.
Right now, this is what we have. It's just, this is, very, very similar to the statements that Goffstown and Manchester and Concord have already put out.
But are you asking us, do we want to put this out now, or do we want to wait till
No.
you've attended?
We'd like to put it out
Okay,
tomorrow.
okay. Well, I think it's pretty clearly written.
Okay.
Did you have a question, Marty?
Yeah, I mean, I think the link, that
What do you
shortcut
think the
link doesn't make any
motivation
sense.
is? I mean,
Money.
yes, but how money? Because what they are doing is restricting a very large portion
Yes.
of their buying
Yeah.
customers.
Yep.
And I guess they feel that they're wealthy enough
I don't know.
to actually put off all these libraries that will buy multiple copies of books so that someday in the future, probably not too distant, they'll get more people going to bookstores and buying books.
Maybe.
And
I
how that
mean-
would make them more money, I don't know.
Well, I don't know either, and, New Hampshire is a very small state.
Yeah.
And it might, what's gonna happen when a larger state with more libraries? I mean, are they gonna be as affected as us, because we buy one? But maybe in a larger library, in a larger state, they have multiple systems.
Yeah.
Maybe there's not as many consortial buying going on, I don't know yet. So,
I would guess
It's
there's
really-
actually, other states have had consortium for a long time, and I would
Mhm.
guess that they have probably for each library the same, maybe, I can't imagine they
know.
have more options. I agree with Karen, I think it's short-sighted, but it's
Oh, it
also,
is.
we
all-
need to,
oh,
we definitely need to
absolutely, yeah.
inform the public, people need to be aware that this is an issue, and so they know what to expect, and.
Yeah.
Great, well, thank you for keeping us informed on that.
Yeah, I can,
Or do you want us, what do you need us to do?
I don't know. It's a statement. I want you guys to know about it so that you know what's going on, you know what we'd like to put out. I don't
We'll get a
know.
follow-up every month.
I can, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, or an email if it's moving that
Yeah.
fast. I will certainly email you.
Thank you.
So I don't know if you have to actually vote. I don't know.
But what other types of notices would be put on that we
Well,
wouldn't
okay,
have to notify?
Let's say if if we say signed by the Library Board of Trustees or supported by the Library Board of Trustees or
Yeah.
endorsed by,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Then it's a vote.
Mhm.
yeah.
I make a motion to accept the Macmillan public notice acknowledging what's going on, I mean, whatever.
Well, we don't need to vote
Well,
on that.
what should we say?
Do you want to sign it? Want me to?
I think we should wait until we have a better idea what others are gonna do in the state or what the state library.
No, but just to post this, we just want this posted. We want this information
Oh, I
going
see what you're
out.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
So, I mean, really, are we just saying that we are in support of
Yeah.
this
Exactly, that's why.
What do you want me to
What should we call it?
put on the bottom?
and is
I
endorsed
would
by?
say
that it
we're
is supported.
supporting it, supported by the
Yeah, I would say supported.
Merrimack Library, the LBOT.
I'm calling it that.
So
Macmillan
would you
publish-
post this as a
publisher
poster
information
or
sheet.
as a
It's gonna be one
handout?
of those little handouts that sit on,
Okay.
A
that sit at the
a
front
handout.
desk, that has the front
Okay.
and back.
Okay, so the motion on the floor is that we are supporting this.
yeah.
We're, okay, so there's a motion that we support the statement created that will be going out regarding the Macmillan Publishing issue. Okay, does that sound like? good?
Sounds great.
Okay, and I will second Janet's motion.
Okay.
That I just clarified.
And then just,
So
I'm
all
sorry.
in favor? 5-0, okay.
Supported by trustees.
okay, if there are resignation letters floating around, I
yeah.
do need to put them in a file, thank you.
Okay.
Just the last thing was a little bit of housekeeping. I noticed when I was doing the report that the trustee goals for the director are to be reviewed in October, so I don't know if anyone had any chance to think about that.
So Personnel Committee, what are your, is it for everybody to review? Is it for the Personnel Committee to
No,
review
actually,
it?
No,
for
it's
the
me.
treasurer.
For the treasurer,
It's
okay.
me. And it's been great. I mean, in reality, I think we could get rid of them. The ARFA is inputting the QuickBook data on time, and now she's starting to do all of it. So,
Are the
it's,
deposits being made twice a month?
yep, and the deposits are twice a month. And
Are we incurring any financial
well,
late
the
charges?
finance charges went into the general fee, the general payment, so we don't see an individual finance charge. But considering everything is being done twice a month, I mean, signing checks twice a month,
That would-
everything is
would
It's running
automatically-
smoothly,
very,
things,
running very
excellent.
smoothly, at least on
Great.
my end.
Okay, great.
So
Great. So are we considering those done?
I would
What's
consider those met,
met? Okay.
and they can be taken off.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, great.
That's, I don't have anything else.
Okay, wonderful. Treasurer's report.
Okay. All set?
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, when it reaches the point that I'm talking to myself, then we know you need to.
It's a sign of superior intelligence.
Right.
Okay. Treasurer's report.
Okay, I'm looking at the balance sheet for October. I'm looking at fines. Beginning balance was $16,608.63. And we ended with $13,512.91. Our replacement computers are in that. Any questions about fines?
Okay, no, wait one second.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. No wonder I can't find it. It's wrong. Sideways. Okay, so for fines, you ended with $13,512.91,
Yes?
And you said the computers are in here?
Yes. Part of our computer upgrade.
Okay.
And Aunt Flo.
Yep.
For special.
Yep.
For October, we started at 18,355.89, and we ended at 29,661.06. We had a very generous donation from Dr. Quimby, care of his son,
Barry, right?
Barry, yeah,
Mhm.
Barry Quimby. Any questions? Okay, now, having jumped the gun at the beginning, we need to make a motion to create an account for the Barry Quimby Memorial Fund. So, to accept all of his, in lieu of flowers or generous donations from
Mhm.
people, exactly,
Yeah.
who want to give to the library under his or under his memorial fund, we need to create the memorial fund. So we have to have a motion, then I need to have the minutes, and then we can do it.
You need to have the minutes?
The minutes are evidence
Mhm. Okay, so
for the
I,
creation of the fund.
so I will make a
The
motion.
account, yep.
I will make a motion that we create an account to be named Barry Quimby Memorial Fund.
I second.
Any comments, discussion? All in favor? Okay.
Do I have to give you the minutes this minute?
No,
they're
but
not-
they can be draft minutes.
I can do it within 24, I can do it tomorrow.
That would be great.
Okay.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Karen.
I'm in.
And Janet, thank you for setting this up. Okay, and our thanks again to the Quimby family. So. All right, is that all you have for treasurer?
I'm looking. That was the main thing. Did that. Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, acceptance of minutes. We have a lot of them. So I tried to print and go over all of them. If I miss something, please stop me and get me back on track. The first one that we have are the September 19th, 2019 corrected minutes.
Correct.
Did anyone have any additional corrections or questions about that one?
I made all the corrections that we had, that had been pointed out
Great.
at the September meeting,
Okay.
so.
All right, I make a motion that we accept the corrected minutes from September 19th, 2009, I'm sorry, yeah, 2019, okay, 2019.
Second.
Laura seconds, all in favor? Great, thank you. The next ones I have are non-public session meeting minutes from October 15th. Is that what you guys have next too? Okay.
I'm sorry, but the September minutes,
Yes,
you moved to accept, and who?
Laura seconded.
And it was 5-0. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, now we have non-public,
From October 15th.
10:15. And so this one is done.
Okay, any concerns or questions? Okay, I make a motion that we accept the October 15th non-public session meeting minutes.
I'll se-
Second.
okay.
Go ahead.
Nope, you got it.
We tied.
Seconded by Laura. All in favor? Great. And you know, we should, of course, also accept the regular meeting minutes from October 15th. Were there any concerns or
didn't
questions
see
about
anything
the
there.
regular meeting minutes for October 15th?
Business, okay.
I had one question
Okay, evidently, all right.
on the holiday schedule, which is new business B. The trustees discussed the proposed schedule and agreed that on Columbus Day and the Friday after Thanksgiving, the library will be open.
Oh,
They were switched last year, but I think we said we'd take off.
Yeah, they were gonna be taken off the schedule.
Off
take
the sched-
off Columbus Day because
Right.
it was a reminder
Right.
for
Okay.
the first year.
And Friday, is open, but no, it's closed. The Friday, the library's closed. So that is, the library should be closed on Friday.
Wait,
no.
no,
The Friday after Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
I thought you were going to be open.
No, we're
No.
open Columbus Day now,
Yes.
yes.
and we're closed on the day after Thanksgiving because it's switching
Right.
one holiday for another.
Right, so that was my only correction, was that
Okay,
it should
wait.
say that the library is closed the Friday after Thanksgiving. And we can keep it in there, that it's open Columbus Day, but I know we're taking it off the actual calendar. It's just here, the holiday schedule. Columbus Day. Oh, I think maybe the next page. Yep, just there. That was the only thing that stood out to me.
Okay. On Columbus Day and the Friday after Thanksgiving, the library will be open, and that is not true. So the Friday after Thanksgiving will be closed.
That was the only thing I saw. which
It's
I-
a long stretch to be closed.
It's just Thursday, Friday.
Having worked
It's just Thursday.
Having worked many of those Fridays, there's really not a lot of people that come into the library the day after. It's a very slow day, so Columbus Day would probably get more. So,
Columbus Day is busier,
yeah.
you know, it's,
A lot of people don't have that off
no.
from
Yeah.
work.
No.
And I don't even know if schools have it off. No, I have it off. I can't
Okay.
remember if schools have it off
So-
anymore.
I will make a motion to accept those minutes with that
As
change.
corrected,
With
yeah.
that change. if any-
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. The next minutes I have are from Monday, October 21st, where we met with Jason Lacombe.
I thought the architect meeting minutes in general were very well done. Because there was a
thank you.
lot of information that
Yes.
was given to us.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Janice, would you like to make a motion to accept those minutes? So, okay.
I'm just
I
trying
will-
to think of which
By
ones.
accepting one at a time.
Yeah, we'll do one at a time. Monday, October 21st. Let's do that one first.
Okay.
So I make a motion that we accept the October 21st meeting minutes. It's Jason Lacombe.
Yes.
That was the only one, right? On
Yep.
that?
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Great. The next minutes I have are Monday, October 29th, where we had a public hearing. And then we met with 2 architects. Any comments, concerns? Okay. I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes from Monday, October 29th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Wait,
I
nobody,
second.
Yep.
okay.
And then I believe our final one, our non-public session meeting minutes. Oh, no, that's not true. We have one more after this. Our non-public session meeting minutes from October 29th as well.
Oh,
Um,
no, wait, that's not all.
I know I said we have one more after that. I made a mistake. We have the November 12th
Mm.
budget meetings.
No, there's
See, I missed one. Okay, so October 20, let's deal with October 29th first. So any concerns about the October 29th non-public session meeting minutes?
Well, the statement there,
Wait a second. October 29th, non-public.
Would you like to see mine? There you go.
Just see, I usually just, I have them.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure. Laura, what was your concern?
Yes,
the second bullet,
Head of Adult Services, Brendan.
I'm wondering if that's appropriate to be in that fashion.
Well, it would be sealed,
We did not vote to seal these minutes.
not, but we didn't vote to accept them either yet. So, I don't know. It says Head of Adult.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about it if Laura has a concern about whether we should seal or not. Would you like to move this to non-public session?
I
and we
think
can
so,
talk-
just
Okay,
to
let's move
clarify
that to there and
the
we can talk about
contents.
the contents and see if we feel it's appropriate or not.
Mhm.
So we'll move that one to our non-public session at the end of the meeting.
Thank you.
So we can motion to approve with
Well,
changes? Or
well,
you want
yeah,
to
we
leave
can-
it all
we
the
can-
way out?
let's
Okay.
leave it for
Yeah,
now so we
yeah.
can
Okay.
discuss it in non-public and just decide. Okay, and then, so you said there are two. I'm sorry, maybe I did
Okay.
not print them off. I have November
Okay.
12th.
November 11th.
Two
And
I'm sorry, I
November
don't have the
12th.
November 11th. I only have the November 12th. So, November 12th, we are looking at approving the November 11th. Thank
You
you.
were
But
there.
I was there. That did not get printed off this time around. So,
Oh, I had a question about that,
okay, great.
but I gotta find it first.
I don't have the 11th
I
either.
don't even have it.
I have the 12th. I don't have the 11th.
So you don't have the 11th either?
I don't either. No.
Yeah, so no one else has the, that makes me feel better because I was trying
What
to
did
print
I
them
think I
all.
read?
Is that it in your hand?
You weren't there for November 11th. You. No, so that's why maybe you just, I don't know, it's,
Well, I don't, so none of us have them.
Well,
I don't think-
somewhere I read something,
I have
I know.
November 11th.
because I had a question
Do you have
about it.
November 11th or November 12th, Jan?
I have the 12th.
I have both.
Could we,
11 and 12.
okay,
have
so
11 and
without
12.
having the 11th in front of us and giving us a chance to read it, maybe we could approve that next time. Could we get a copy of the November 11th one sent to us? Sure.
Have it in your hand?
Yeah.
Can you pass them around?
Yeah, I don't really want to take the time to read it right now, but if
No,
someone else
but I
would
just
like
want
to,
a copy, thank you.
let's add it. So,
This was the one where we mainly discussed the budget.
mhm.
That's why we were meeting.
Yep, and then we have the November, does everybody have the November 12th one, though? Can we move forward and approve that one? So the November 12th one is where we met, and Paul McCallie was there as our guest.
Wait 1 second.
And this is a non-public meeting. S-
So we're saying November,
November 12th. If you notice at the top, we went into non-public session because we were discussing personnel issues.
yeah, and we went into non-public for the
Yeah.
11th as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
I don't have that
I
one
don't
either.
know what
you
we're
don't,
doing.
but do you have the 12th?
No,
You don't have the
I
12th
just
either?
checked and I
Huh.
don't have
I have
it.
1029, I have,
I didn't
Well,
download
why
it.
don't we say then, we can ask Karen to send us the November 11th and November 12th, and we can look at approving them in at the
Okay,
December
I'm sorry.
meeting.
Karen, Janet says I didn't download it, that's possible.
That's okay. I think it'll be better, especially considering it was regarding the budget and they're non-public, if we each get a copy of that, have a chance to review it, and then we can approve them at the December meeting. Is everyone all
Okay,
right with
so
that? So we'll,
So what we want to do is the November 11th and November 12th, public
I think they were both
and, they were both non-public,
public. Yep,
but I think in one of them there was public
Okay.
as well.
so could you
So-
send us both of those again, if you
I
don't
will-
mind?
I
And
will do that.
that would be great, and we will look
I'm
at those.
sorry about
No,
that.
it's, you know, it sounds like, I think I could have missed something also. So we will just look at those in December. So, Karen, thank you, though. That was a lot of minutes
It
to get
was.
out, so,
oh, this
Okay.
was Columbus Day.
right. Okay,
Oh, Veterans Day.
so, the next thing on our agenda is committee updates. I'm just gonna start talking if you're okay with moving forward with the minutes. Okay. The Building Exploratory Committee, we met with with 3 architectural firms, had some very interesting presentations. We discussed that briefly when we met with the town council. We let them know, and there was some discussion that you'll be talking with Paul McCallie, Yvette, about moving forward with an RFP. So is there any news on that front, or?
No, I mean, he said that he's happy to help us and send him the names and contacts of the 3 architects.
Okay,
So I've sent that to him.
perfect. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think those were really informative and interesting presentations. It was really great.
What
So-
is an RF?
Request for proposal.
So I think that's all from the Building Exploratory Committee. Friends, Janice, do you have anything from the Friends?
The turkey shoot is this Thursday, November 21st. We hope that everyone will come that can attend. It's a night of raffles and, want to add anything else to it? It's at the high school. Starts at 6 p.m. I'm trying to remember where. Oh, here it is. High school, doors open at 6 p.m. The first dinner raffle is at 6:30 p.m. You can look at the library event page for more information. And it will be money that is raised to go to the New England Authors Series in 2020.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sounds like fun. And next, the Merrimack Public Library Development Fund Committee
Haven't met.
and the Town Center Committee.
Yes. The Town Center Committee met back on October 18th. I believe that they will have a table at the turkey shoot with information for attendees about what the Town Center Committee does. They have been a very long-standing committee in town, are trying to promote walking trails and sidewalks, and have had state grants to help pay for these things. And then over time, the money gets sometimes used for something else, or sometimes it doesn't come through, or whatever. So there are several projects right now from the Town Center Committee that are clogged up. And that's pretty much, we're meeting monthly, we're trying to unclog the sidewalks in particular. But until we find out whether funds will be allocated to us from the state, the Department of Transportation, we're kind of at a standstill. There are videos made that are going to highlight those projects, that are going to be made in cooperation with the high school video department, and there will be students taking video before and after, and so on. And that also has slowed down, so.
Okay.
It's gonna happen, but it's just very slow.
Great, thank you. The Library Board of Trustee Committees, Personnel Committee, do you have anything?
Okay.
Are we going to be discussing that in non-public?
Yes.
Okay, great.
That's what I was about to say.
Building maintenance, we haven't met.
Give me a
Okay,
chance.
great. Finance Committee, anything?
Just that the guidelines are going to push to December.
Okay, so we'll add that to our action items. Okay, great. So I guess we are at reviewing November's action items. Sure.
Okay, guidelines.
I have one to add.
Okay, sure.
With the gift policy, we would need to add to the secretary job responsibilities, which we put in the manual. Everyone sort of wrote out for Merrimack what their responsibilities were. We would have to add that the secretary would purchase the gift cards and the cards, so that would be added to the job duties there and update the index keep the index updated in the trustee manual as well.
Okay.
Just a second, okay, secretary. Purchase. Cards, gift cards. And put in change index. Okey doke.
All right, I am going to contact the chair of the Amherst trustees to see if a few of us can visit their December meeting, and I will let everyone know the response to that. We are going to come up with a staff breakfast date.
Oh, that's right.
Janet, you're going to do a sign-up genius for us. And then is the sign-up genius for the food that we bring, but then Yvette will take care of letting us know who the gift cards are for? Okay. And then we would also just need the minutes from November 11th and November 12th to approve for next time.
And the guidelines.
And the guidelines, right.
Okay, wait 1 second.
I think
Okay,
she got the
back at the
guidelines.
staff breakfast.
Yep.
Okay, Janet's gonna do what is it, the app?
It's called Sign Up Genius.
Okay,
Genius.
sign up genius.
And Yvette will get us the dates for the clump room that will work with the clump room.
Dates for club. And there was,
You're going to send the minutes, November 11th and November 12th, right?
And Yvette was going to make available to the public the Macmillan
the Macmillan, yes,
info stuff.
Yep.
She would have anyway, but nice to have it
okay.
on the list.
I should have started this. Staff breakfast, so, Yvette, make Macmillan letter available.
And should we add to that, reviewing the November minutes in December?
Yeah, I just was saying that Karen was going to send us the November 11th and November 12th
Oh,
minutes.
so that's
that
on
we-
there.
yep.
Oh, okay.
Send November 11th and 12th
Mhm.
minutes, and I was going to correct,
Yeah, we approved it as corrected, just the date,
Right,
the date
right.
on that one.
yeah,
And then you and I will be working on the
Yes.
manual
that's right.
with the deadline of the January meeting,
Deb,
just formatting it, not making any changes. And we will include the index with that, so.
and update index. Anything else? We were gonna do something with the financial the
That's
guideline?
already there.
We're going to review them.
We have to set up the Carl Quimby Memorial Fund. No, yes.
Not Carl.
Yeah.
Barry.
Barry, sorry, yes. Carl is the dad. Barry.
Well, it didn't seem like there were that many, but once we started going, there's
I
a lot of
know.
action items, a lot of things. That's good. We're making progress, so.
And I need the minutes.
Uh,
And, I mean, they can be draft minutes.
That's fine, but I can't give them to you the way they are
Oh,
right
no,
now.
no, no.
So, but I
that's-
will,
Yeah,
tomorrow.
it's fine. Deb, you actually have to sign something. I forgot to bring it.
Okay.
Because you and I will both be on it.
Okay. Well, Karen's, are there any other action items? Because I will read the calendar while
Do you
I'm
get
just
them all?
afraid I've missed something, but
Don't worry, we'll let you
You'll
know.
tell
Okay. So upcoming, Janice already mentioned November 21st at 6 o'clock, the 10th annual turkey shoot. November 25th at 7 o'clock in the director's office at the library, the Friends of the Library Board meeting will be taking place. The library will be closing on November 27th at 5 o'clock and will be closed for Thanksgiving and the Friday after Thanksgiving, November 28th and 29th. On December 17th at 7 o'clock, the trustees will meet here again for our December meeting. Anything else before we move into non-public? No? Okay. So I would like to make a motion that we enter non-public session per RSA 91A3 2A personnel. We need a roll call vote, so individually, Janice.
What we need a second.
Doesn't-
Oh, I'm sorry, I do need a second.
Second.
Second. Yep, roll call vote to go in. I looked at my guidelines before here, so we go through. Janice,
Yes.
Laura,
Present.
Janet, yes. Karen?
Yep.
So we enter non-public at 8:33.